Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. I know it's warming up. A lot of folks talking about how cold it got yesterday. 4:30 in the morning, it was cool. So it was like 39 here on the coast. So it was doggone cool. But it's warming up today. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. And I always run by and check out all the different programs they have there. High today 74, low tonight 54. So it'll be a lot warmer today than yesterday. We got some rain coming, looks like on Friday, but today looks, the wind's going to be east-northeast at 10 to 20. Water temperature is still around 70 degrees. Taking a look at our river readings, they're still high, folks. It's been high a long time. Apalachicola Bluntstown at 17.7. They got all the way up there a couple days ago to 24, 25, but it dropped down to 17 this morning, but it's not. It's going to drop out, and then I guess they're going to just keep the gates open because it's staying high right next to flood stage. That's Apalachicola Bluntstown. The Chocolate Hatchet Caryville, it's still in the colors. I call that a color zone. Anytime you get in the colors, you got high water. It's at 11.6, right at 12 foot. And it's dropping out some, but we got to wait and see what the rain does tomorrow. But it may drop on out, but it's still going to be high all weekend long. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Their motto is when carrying counts. And we got some really good tides today. High tide at 11:35 this morning. It's the St. Andrew Bay system. And the low tonight is at 9:56. Got a 1.4 foot range. All right, good shot there. And also the marine forecast I mentioned earlier, east-northeast at 10 to 20. It's been blowing for quite some time now. I get tickled about this weather, and just our old timers always said that was that little cool spell, is what they call it, a cool spell right before Easter, and it happens year after year, and it happened again this year. So I get a kick out of that. Now let's get on the phone and talk to Captain Blair Morgan, sponsored by Blue Water Outriggers, get a report on our eastern end of our viewing area. Good morning, Blair.
Good morning, Winston. How are you?
Well, glad that you're back home and feeling better.
Yeah, I feel a lot better.
Well, I know you were sick a while, but you are sound like you're doing good now.
Yeah, I'm doing real good. Getting ready to get back. I'm ready to get things going. I had to get tuned up before fishing season really got going good. So
that's what it was. Just a good tune-up.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, well, what's going on? Just briefly, what's going on down there? I know you haven't been able to get in the water, but I know you've heard a few things. So what have you been hearing down there?
Well, the Panhandle really starting to run out here off the Cape. There's been some people having some real good catches down from the stump hole down towards the state park, just off the surf right there. And Spanish, they're running pretty good around the oil docks there at the St. Joe Marina up through there and off the beaches. The drums and the seabed are still up in the intercoastal waterway. Catch a lot of them. Hadn't heard of any cobia being caught around over here yet.
Okay. All right. Now you were telling me, you've got your little house up there in the woods. It's on one of those feeder creeks that goes into the Apalachicola. But you're telling me it's high up in there.
Yeah, I went up there Monday, Winston, and of course my house is on Fort Gaston Creek. I have a dock there, and my dock's completely underwater, and water's coming up in my yard. I haven't seen it that high since one of the hurricanes 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, it's high.
That's why we talk about that kind of stuff and all all that flooded water. It really brings the animals out of the woods.
Oh, it does. They're running for high ground right now, I guarantee you.
Yeah. So be careful on the highways and all, and the hogs and the bears and the deer are going to be up there on high land. Yep.
Don't forget about the snakes.
And the snakes. I try not to scare people about the snakes, but you're right. They snakes are crawling all over the place right now.
Yeah, that river's high, Winston. I tell you what, it's unbelievably high, and I think it might have crested about Monday or something. I don't know, but all that water from up north, all that rain they had up there was just now getting here. So, it takes 3 or 4 days for it to get down towards my way from the dam up there.
Well, what we're hoping is it starts going down and all, and we're hoping, the month of May is going to just be some great freshwater fishing.
I tell you what, when that river gets right, that's going to be some excellent freshwater fishing. There's no doubt about that.
You're right, buddy. We're going to have to get together and do something.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right, man. Thank you, Blair. Glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
All right, man. All right, Captain Blair Morgan, Blue Water Outriggers. All right, let's take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're going to start off with some midweek pictures. I get fascinated with all the pictures that come rolling in almost on a daily basis. It's what a great viewing of what's going on in our whole Panhandle area. Let's start off with this picture here. We're in the last week of turkey season, and here's my boy Steve Cook. He graduated last year. I'm glad to see he loved outdoors and he had time to do it. Now I'm glad he's still having a chance to do it. This is a nice Jake turkey got off of Highway 79 up here. Good job, Steve. Glad to see you. He's a good fisherman. Glad to see him get him a gobbler here. All right. King mackerel are starting to show up. All right, this is Jeff Thomas. That's his second king this year. That's about a 15-pounder. They run a little bit small this time of year, but they're going to get bigger. The smokers are going to get coming on in pretty soon. Good job there, Jeff Thomas. So I want to show you this quick map. This is a different species of turkey. You know, right, okay, down in Florida, the Osceola, then the blue is the eastern. Then we have all the others, and we'll go over more of this next year. But I want to show you where there are 4 or 5 different, actually 7, but some of these, light in trees, and hunters don't like to shoot them. But basically, the Rio is out there in the burgundy color. So that's interesting, a good map there. I just want to share that with you. Okay, now let's get back to the fishing picture. Andy Brymer taking out Marcus Black. This was Monday, a 64-pounder right off of Shell Island. You see Shell Island in the background there. All right. Andy Brymer is good about fishing and showing me those pictures. This is David Conrad and Jerry Forehand fishing at Crooked Island Sound. Now look at those different, you got Spanish, you got pompano, you got some nice redfish. You got some back in, well, you got a great variety right there of fishing. Good job. That was David Conrad and Jerry Forehand. Thanks for sending that picture. All right, this is on the negative side right here. This is Mike Helm sent this to me. He was really upset about it. Mike grew up here and he's been here his whole life. And this is a loggerhead that he found on Shell Island. Found it dead on this past weekend. And look on the back. That's not the shell, folks. That's the prop mark where a prop just cut into that loggerhead, and he washed ashore. Mike said, it doesn't show the size of Mike said it's a huge loggerhead, and it lost his life to a prop. And I'm going to try to get Mike to come on the show and talk about some conservation things we can do and how to take care of our area. He was really upset about that. I don't blame him. All right, this next picture. This is Derek Kinney. They were trolling 6 miles. Of course, he caught in a release system. That is a nice grouper. Good picture there and put it right back in the water. But trolling for grouper. That's how we fish for them down in Carabel. Okay? My buddies, speaking of Carabel, here's Millard. Okay? Millard and his buddy Paul, Captain Kim sent me this picture. They go fishing on the weekdays, like a Tuesday or Wednesday, to pick out a good day to go. And they limit out almost every time they go in a grouper down there. Grouper season's open there, and I got a great chance to go. Now, next picture. Well, here's a close-up picture of some of those. This is Tony Bass, my buddy Tony Bass, and Wendy Colson from Valdosta. They went last weekend. They forgot. I guess they forgot my phone number But look at the size of some of those grouper folks. I went out of Sea Quarters Marina. Good job, Tony. All right, we'll get together soon. We've had an FCAT going on this week. And this is Bowen McGuffin. He's a senior, and the seniors didn't have to come to school early. Bowen went to Deer Point Lake. Bowen's been on the show, if you remember, one of my students of the month. He went to Deer Point Lake on Monday morning, and it was windy, and it just blew him off the lake. So he was bound and determined to get him a bass. So he went over to Country Club and caught one and released one of those bass over there. But that shows how much he loves fishing. And then he came to school later on. He couldn't find him at Deer Point. That's a great little lesson there. Just keep on fishing until you find them. Here's another. This is a second bass. He caught 2 nice ones off the same spot. Bowen McGuffin, a senior up at Mosley. Okay. Only in East Point. Marty sent me this, and you got to appreciate, I love East Point. That's a gas station right there at Triangle back there. Great folks down there, and they love the fishing. And this guy had a boat trailer hooked to his bicycle. And that's I just thought it was classic. And in fact, when Marty sent it to me, his quote was "only in East Point." Good job there. All right, and I guess that's gonna wrap it up right there. So good pictures right there. Glad to have those. Don't forget tonight now, Bay fly fishers will be meeting. They'll be meeting up at Sonny's Barbecue. That's on Highway 77 across from the Walmart. They're going in Lynn Haven on Highway 77. They'll be meeting at 6:30. Be talking about fly fishing and maybe putting some stuff together, showing some tying some flies, and just general guys just love fly fishing, guys and girls, of course. And what they're going to do, they're going to alternate meeting on one side of the bridge 1 month and the other side of the bridge the second month. So alternate that. That's a great idea. So I'll run by that 6:30. You can eat there if you want to, and just sit in fellowship with them, and it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so don't forget to do that. Let's go and take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Hope you learned something from the show. Hope you enjoy the show. And don't forget every Sunday morning, watch Whitney on Cast and Call Outdoors. All right, now, Gulf Power Tournament is coming up soon. I say soon, it's about a month away, May 24th. But go ahead and get your plans in. It's going to be up on McCall Everett Fish Ramp up there at the saltwater side of Deer Point Dam. And also, here, I want to show this. We always talk about outdoorsmen and helping out outdoorsmen. It's just something here in Panhandle that's been a tradition. It's just something we do. And in various ways, all kind of ways. Sometimes we just make flat-out donations. Sometimes we physically help people, and all kind of ways, free airtime, whatever. But anyway, Tom Martin came by. My good friend Tom Martin came by the other day and dropped off this necklace. He wanted to donate it to Miller down at Seacoast Marina at the leukemia tournament they have every year, that first weekend of August. We'll go king mackerel fishing, and all that money goes to leukemia research. And I want to show you this necklace. He brought it by the studio. I'm gonna get it to Millard. It's in a rose color. It's in a rosewood case right here. But this is a Guy Harvey. This is a highly sought after necklace, and Tom has donated it. And what they'll do down there at the Sea Quarters tournament, on a Friday night at the captain's meeting, they have a huge crowd. And not just at captains, they just call it a captain meeting, but a lot of people come in, and a big cookout and all, and they will actually, it's in a nice case here, they will actually have on a table there, they have all kind of things, and you've seen them at tournaments you go to, and you have silent auctions, and then you have raffles, and it's really a good fundraiser, and this is something that I guarantee you those guys down there are going to really go after, and thank you, Tom, for donating that. It's such a good cause, and we appreciate that. All right, now, we got a video coming up. I want to show it to you. It's on catching sand fleas. We're talking about, different fish all love different kind of bait. You go freshwater fishing, brim love crickets and wigglers, and catfish love those earthworms, and flathead catfish love those live brim. Each species has their favorite food. You come out here in Kobe, you fish in Kobe, you want to throw a big eel out there, although they do like crabs. When sheephead fishing, you want to fish with a fiddler crab. I guess the single most important bait, if you're catching more fish than anything, probably though would be a live shrimp. But I was thinking about getting into saltwater, live shrimp, and then you also peel dead shrimp, and freshly peeled dead shrimp is good. But the pompano love sand fleas. We've talked about that over and over again. I love the pompano fish, and the best bait I can always use would be a sand flea, and they'll make those little V's in there. And so I love to go catch. My ideal weekend trip is to get down to the Cape on a Friday afternoon and go down there to the water late Friday evening and just catch a bunch of, as the sun is setting, just catch a bunch of sand fleas and put them in a bucket overnight without water in them now. Just put them in some sand, and then get up next morning and fish with them. And that's just one of my favorite trips. So let's watch this video on how to catch sand fleas, okay? Okay, we're on the beach today. We're going to show you how to catch sand fleas. And it's funny, the other day I talked about it in the studio, and the lady, Sue, in the control room thought sand fleas were these little things on a dog, but listen, they're great bait. So we're going to show you how to catch them. Remember, we're going to look for it. First of all, they all have antennas, and they come up out of the sand. They're hard to find, but remember, they're in clumps. They sort of in families, or colonies maybe. And we'll go down the beach and show you. Basically, the only equipment you're going to need is this little wire basket right here. Very simple. This came out of my wife's kitchen. We used to cook French fries in it. We don't eat French fries anymore, so we just use this just for sand fleas. So this is really the only equipment. So we're going to sort of scoop them up under the sand. So come on. Okay, what I'm going to do, we look at when the waves are coming back in. You may not see it now. There's a little group of them sort of right down in there. They're coming up as the waves go back in. I'm going to run down there and point them out to you, and then before I try to get any. Wash it out with the waves. See how many we got. Okay. I can see we did pretty good. We got a couple of little ones right here that got loose. We're gonna let these little ones go right there. Notice what they'll do. They go right back. They go right back into the sand. What we'll do, we catch about 4 nice big ones right here. It'll be good bait. Let me take one out and show you what they look like. Okay, that's a sand flea right there. I'm gonna put them on the ground. I'm gonna show you how fast they are. Okay. Then they dig into the sand. They'll dig into the sand. You'll lose them if you're not careful. They have little antennas on them. They'll play possum on you too. See the antenna right there? We'll let this go in the sand. I'll watch you dig. You may have lost him. Right there. See the little antennas right there? That's sort of what you look for. That's how they, actually how they eat. He's going deeper. He's going deeper, but he's still there. See him right there? Okay. Great sand flea. Right there. Good pompano bait. We're going to talk about some more in a minute. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a bad scoop right there. There's all the antennas coming up, and these are good, healthy ones this time of year. One thing I like to do, if I find a female with the eggs, I don't know if you can see the yellow part inside here. Okay, that's a female and she's starting to have some eggs. I usually turn around and let these go back. I'm going to release this one back in the surf. We need to say this would be like having a big bass you catch him with some eggs in it. So we're going to let that one go. This is also how they dig. This, I'm get this protrusion. See how they dig so fast right here? We're going to let this mommy go. Okay, now once you catch a few, you want to be able to keep them healthy. And what you do now is put them in a small bucket of sand. If you can see these right here, have a little bit of wet sand. These are some I just caught on that last scoop. They're pretty lively. I just dump them in there. I got a couple little ones. I'll let them go. You can see how they'll dig up into the sand and they'll stay safe. And one thing you do not want to do, a lot of people make this mistake. You put water in here, they'll actually drown. They can't really stay in the water the whole night. So I can keep these today and fish with them and keep them overnight and fish with them tomorrow. And they'll stay healthy. The ones that don't use, I sort of let go. Well, Panhandle Outdoors on St. Joseph Peninsula, how to catch sand fleas. See you later. All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. And remember, that's the favorite bait. That's our candy to pompano. Probably the second best bait would be peeled shrimp, freshly peeled shrimp, and I would guess the third best bait would be those fish strips. So, and also they also have the artificial sand fleas. And I catch some every now and then, artificial sand fleas. You try to put some kind of juice on them, get them to smell a little bit. So that's how to catch sand fleas. It's a lot of fun. A lot of times, I'll tell you what I've done now lately. I've got the kids sort of. I award them and tell them how much fun this is and make it a game with them. And so they're catching a lot of them now. So I feel like, Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn. You got to try this. All right, let's take a look at our fishing game forecast. Time today brought to us by Mark Cowart of Edgewater Beach Realty. His number is 832-6000. We're looking at our time this morning at 2:22 to 4:22. And this evening, 2:49 to 4:49, okay, almost from 3 to 5. Excellent time. Get off work a little bit early and have opportunity to get out and do some stuff. All right, now, we talk all the time about water temperature, and I, as part of my weather report every morning, I feel very strong about its influence on the outdoorsman here in the Florida Panhandle, and not just in saltwater, also in freshwater, and not just out in the Gulf, but in the Bay System and all. And each year I like to put together, I draw out my own little chart. And in fact, I take it to school and share it with my students. And sometimes for the math teachers in the hallway, I show them how I do my graph and ask them if I could pass this class. But take a look at this year's temperatures, okay? I did this last night, and just to get you going on it, this is January over here, of course. In January, it was 52 degrees, all right? And I just skipped a whole month, from January 13th to February 14th on Valentine's Day. In a month's time, we went up 5 degrees. Then on the 21st, 61, and then it dropped a little bit. It'll do that now. It'll drop a little bit. Then the first weekend of March, it's 61. And then March the 13th, 64. Okay, and then this one we started catching those Spanish mackerel, if you remember, around that third fog, right in here, right between that 13th and through the 18th, those Spanish started coming in. Then come on up here, and you can see, of course, the rest is 64, 65, and today is 70 degrees. And it was fascinating. It just hangs in there every year, and it's a slow climb, and you can see it, especially now with the pictures being sent in with electronic methods and all that, even more testimonials, and you can just see the flow of the pictures coming in corresponding with the temperature. So I get a kick out of that, and it does that each year. So I just wanted to share that with you. And at 7 degrees now, and it'll go back and forth, like I say, a little bit, but I remember watching it one day, like on Sunday, but from the morning till the afternoon, it went up like 3 degrees. It was a 3-degree variance, okay? And then it dropped back down a degree right before dark. So that's very important, and you can see the results of it. So you good fishermen do that. And the old timer just went by the fogs and all. They didn't have any way to gauge the temperature out there. I got to wrap it up. Got a big show coming up tomorrow, a famous Friday fishing forecast and giveaways and all that. But meantime, you have a great day today. Be sure and do something good for someone else. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.